Direct download, guide our leaders right, help our youth the truth to know, in love and mercy to grow, and live in trust and truth. Great love divine, attain to build a nation where peace and justice shall reign.
I declare this ceremony open for the matriculation of students in regular degree for 2019-2020 academic section.
Mr. Vice, I want to invite the Acting Dean Faculty of Education, Professor Renframewale, to present to you students of the faculty for matriculation.
Students in the Bachelor of Arts Education, Bachelor of Science Education, and Bachelor of Education programs stand and remain standing.
Now, I hope you have your copies of the oath. Okay, bring them out now. And I will read, and then you read after me. Is it clear? Okay. You are required to make the oath of allegiance, purpose of matriculation to the State University of Ekiti, Nigeria, saying as follows. of the Ekiti State University, Ado-Ekiti, Nigeria. How many of us are talking? I want to hear your voices clearly. I solemnly and sincerely declare, promise and declare, that I will pay due respect and obedience to the Vice Chancellor and other officers of the university, that I will faithfully observe all regulations which may from time to time be issued by them for the good order and governance of the university. I also promise and affirm that I shall not become a member of any secret cult, society, or organization, either in the university or elsewhere, throughout my period of studentship in the university. In addition, I faithfully promise to refrain from any other violence and of any or any other action calculated to disrupt the work of the university or likely to bring the university into disrepute. I finally declare that appropriate disciplinary action should be taken against me in accordance with the rules and regulations of the university. If I breach any part of this matriculation rule, so help me God. Congratulations, the registrar, Kwara State College of Education in Ilorin, to introduce the principal officers, the team of the college on this matriculation.
Deputy Vice Chancellor Academics, the Registrar of Ekiti State University too, ably represented here, and other members of the Ekiti State University team, the provost of the college and other members of the management staff, other staff here present, our students. I say good morning everybody. I have the singular honor and opportunity to introduce the members of the management of Kwara State College of Education in Ilorin. And I want to start by introducing the provost of Kwara State College of Education in Ilorin in person of Professor Abdurrahim Yusuf, ably by the Dean Student Affairs, Dr. Mrs. Olufumke Obadokun. I equally want to recognize the librarian of the college here present. She is Alaja Medina Tijato, the college librarian. I also recognize the presence of the bursar of the college, Mr. M.T. Umar, and the Director of Works, Engineer A.T. Ayuba. I equally want to recognize the presence of our eminent deans and director here present. We have the Day School of Education here present, please. The Day School of Education, the Day School of Sciences, the Day School of Languages, the Day School of Vocation, the Dean ECC. We also have, I think, we have the Dean Student Affairs.
Again, good morning. And I want to welcome you students to the university. I'll quickly introduce members of the State University team. First and foremost, I would like to introduce our Vice Chancellor, Professor Edward Olanipekun, ably represented by our Dean, Deputy Vice Chancellor, Academic, Professor Patrick Tedela. You're welcome. I would like to introduce our Registrar also in absentia, represented by the Deputy Registrar, Academic Affairs. He is Barrister Akin Alugunduadi, and is represented here by the Deputy Registrar and Head of Academic Affairs, Mr. O.O. Osho. Then I'd like to introduce the Dean, Faculty of Education, Professor Remy. I would like to introduce the Acting Director, Directorate of Continuing Education Programs, Professor J.B. Ayodili. I would like to introduce to you the Deputy Director, Affiliate Programs, DCEP Ekiti State, Dr. F. Owani. I'd like to introduce to you the Deputy Director, Affiliate Programs Sandwich, Dr. Mrs. F.E.M. Dada. I would like to introduce to you the Deputy Registrar and Secretary of the Directorate Continuing Education Programs, Mr. Ayo Akele. I would like to introduce to you Mrs. O.M. Tibioki, the Deputy Registrar, Faculty of Education. You're welcome. I would like to introduce to you the head of our Information and Corporate Affairs Unit, Mr. Bode Olofimoano. You're welcome.
Of the Ekiti State University, ably represented by the DVC academic, Professor P.O. Tedela. The University Registrar, ably represented by Deputy Registrar, Mr. O.O. Osho. The Registrar, Kwara State College of Education, Ilorin, and other management staff. The Acting Dean, Faculty of Education, Ekiti State University, Professor Remy Fawole. The Deans and Directors from the Ekiti State University. The Deans and Directors from the Kwara State College of Education. The Deputy Registrars and other registry staff of Ekiti State University. The Deputy Registrar and other staff of Kwara State College of Education, Ilorin, parents of our matriculating students, distinguished ladies and gentlemen. On behalf of the management, staff, and students of our great citadel of knowledge, I welcome you all to yet another epoch-making event in the history of this college. Today's matriculation of the 2019-2020 site of the Ekiti State University of the Kwara State College of Education Ilorin campus marks the third in its series since I assumed office as the provost of this college. It gladdens my heart to say that I have not heard any negative and unbecoming behavior of any of our students so far matriculated. Sequel to this, I wish to commend those before you for keeping faith with the oath they swore to while being matriculated, and on the same note, urge you, the matriculants, to follow their good steps. Apart from encouraging research and preparing scholars to extend the frontiers of knowledge, another major goal of the university education is to educate youths to perform intelligently and responsibly all the activities of life. Thus, the award of a degree is always premised on moral and academic priorities of the graduates, which are expected to be achieved within the period of students' academic sojourn in the university. How wonderful! Gather together to pursue the great work of education by the Ekiti State University. We welcome you. We thank you for joining us. And we thank your parents for entrusting us with your care, safety, moral, and intellectual formation. We are in the midst of challenging times, having to suspend in-person education in the last few months was painful for the staff and students alike. We move ahead now under various restrictions and protocols, implementing a carefully designed plan which has been reviewed by our school, the directorate, the Coed COVID-19 Technical Committee, and departmental health officials. Uppermost in our minds is the health and safety of you students, our college and staff, and our friends and neighbors. This is not the first time we have witnessed Eksu matriculated students at Kwara State College of Education in Ilorin, but this is your first formal ceremony as students of Eksu State University. It is your first because we have always believed that appearances don't matter, decisions do. I want to share with you something that is very topical in Nigeria today. How many of you are following the news in Nigeria currently? How many of you are aware of the looting occurring everywhere in this country? Yes, what is happening in Nigeria is also happening all over Africa. We have had independence for years, yet we continue to be disgraced in front of the world. Why? Because people who have taken oaths and made promises to be the leaders and guardians of our society instead have disgraced us. This is why we need to care less about appearances and care more about what we do. This is my message to you today. Don't make so many oaths easily, but act honorably, easily. Act honorably, always. We are here because we need to see Africa transform. Looting, raging, and corruption is rampant. We were disgraced before the world in the past few weeks. We are here because we want to be the agents who will change this land. This is why we are here. In the 1950s and 1960s, Asia was poor. Wars were raging on that continent. And if you were an Asian living in Western Europe or North America, you were discriminated against. Asia is different today because a generation of leaders stood up and decided that they would make it so. As recently as 1980 is, the average Nigerian was wealthier than the average Chinese citizen. Today, China is different because a generation of leaders decided to make it so. The development will not come because we make oaths and promises. It will come when we make a decision that we will stand before the world with our heads held high, that we will stand not in disgrace, but with honor. That is my challenge to you this afternoon. I know that every year, statistically, some students cheat on an exam, even though every single one of you just made a promise not to. It will happen. My challenge to the rest of you is that if and when it happens, you will not let it stand. I'm asking you, do not become a disgrace. I'm challenging you to hold each other to the promise of honorable conduct that you just made. I'm challenging you to be the generation that will restore Africans' honor and help change this continent. And on this note, I want to assure you that we are with you on this journey that you have embarked upon. And by the special grace of God, excellence shall be yours. Thank you very much for patiently listening.
I invite you to address this matriculation.
The Registrar of Eksu State University, ably represented by the Deputy Registrar, the Provost, Kwara State College of Education, ably represented by the Dean of Student Affairs, the Acting Dean, Faculty of Education, Eksu, the Directorate of Continuing Education Programs, Eksu, the Deputy Registrar and Acting Head of Academic Affairs, Eksu, the press, ladies and gentlemen. It is delight to preside over the matriculation ceremony for the newly admitted candidates into the various regular degree programs of the university in affiliation with the Kwara State College of Education, Ilorin, for the 2019-2020 academic section, in my capacity as the 8th Substantive Vice Chancellor of Ekiti State University, Ekiti. The partnership of Ekiti State University with Kwara State College of Education is acknowledged to be a robust one, embroidered in mutual understanding. And this impressive synergy between the two reputable institutions prompted the possibility of holding this ceremony today. Despite the prevailing challenges confronting the nation at a time like this, I urge the management of the college to put more efforts at ensuring its sustainability. Since my assumption of office over a year ago, the university, under my leadership, has conducted matriculation ceremonies in the current contact section for sandwich students at 3 other affiliate colleges, namely Upland College of Education, Akoko, Ondo State, Premier Institute of Education, Ede, Osun State, and Christ International College, Erimo, Osun State. In September 2020, Ekiti State University, in line with the current trends, has its first ever virtual matriculation ceremony for the newly admitted candidates for the 2019-2020 session at the main campus using Zoom technology. A development we were forced to undertake as a result of the new normal in our contemporary world. The Kwara State College of Education in Ilorin, in affiliation with Ekiti State University, is the third affiliate college of the university where the matriculation of students admitted into our regular programs for 2019-2020 academic session is conducted under my leadership as the Vice Chancellor. You will recall that this matriculation ceremony, which should have taken place earlier before now, was hindered by the outbreak of coronavirus pandemic in the early parts of the year. The ceremony is therefore important to us as a university, so that the matriculants of today who have peace of mind, devoid of insinuations and uncertainties surrounding their admissions into a state university. After the whole taking of today, which we have just done, the legitimacy of bona fide studentship of our great university becomes incontrovertible, simply because the status of full-fledged studentship of a state university has just been officially conferred on you today. I therefore wish to congratulate our matriculants on this great feat thus far. Having successfully passed through the qualifying examinations, screening exercise, and found eligible among several thousands that choose the state university for their various degree programs in education. That there are many candidates in the country who applied like you but were not considered for admission. I'm also pleased to congratulate parents and guardians who are here to witness the beginning of another glorious phase in the lives of their children and world's perspective. It is therefore legally binding on our matriculants that, effective from today, you need to live up to the matriculation oaths to which you are sworn, in order not to run foul of the university's rules and regulations that could be detrimental to your programs in the university. As a Vice Chancellor and a father figure, I admonish you to shun from all acts that are averse to good conduct. Run away from all antisocial vices, such as courtesy, membership of unregistered associations, indecent dressing, rape, wandering, examination misconduct, drug abuse, gender-based violence, gangsterism, and the likes that are counterproductive to your path to success. In addition, you are to desist from any heart that will bring your name or family name and that of the university into disrepute. Let me add that the State University has zero tolerance for antisocial behavior and breach of the rules and regulations, as appropriate sanctions are always placed on anyone who flouts any of these measures. I also need to inform you that our university is blessed with high-caliber, world-class academics and professionals who have distinguished themselves globally. And this is an inspiration for you to look forward to so as to become one of them in due course. I urge you students to create time to visit your university campus at Eksu so as to interact with your colleagues on diverse issues of interest. You are assured that your certificate will not be in any way different from our regular students in the main campus, and it carries the same recognition and weight anywhere in the world. I am sure if you abide by all these counsels given in this address and other instructions that may from time to time be given by the college authorities, the good news is that you'll be privileged to meet with the Vice Chancellor once again during the convocation, at least to have a handshake with him on the successful completion of your various programs. So shall it be in Jesus' name. Finally, I congratulate the matriculants of today, parents, guardians, and well-wishers, and I wish everyone here present the very best in your endeavors. Thank you and God bless you.
With your permission, I would like to invite students of the Kwara State College of Education, the students of the State University here in Ilorin to give their very brief presentation. Eksu students declare this matriculation ceremony closed.
I declare the matriculation ceremony for the 2019-2020 regular degree programs closed.